What is up? I had to get my phone out so I get my final box scores. I get the box scores sent to me, so I'm not sure if I got the final. But Warriors win, and what a beautiful mess that was. I'm sensing a theme here. I thought it was the Rockets that maybe uglied up the games. Maybe it's the Warriors that are uglying up the games. Maybe it's them. They went from playing like the most artistically beautiful basketball a decade ago to now playing just grimy slugfest. Like they just get down in the mud and get after it is what they do. So Warriors take the game one and make sure you get the final here for you. 99-88. Road teams a perfect, what is that, 6-0 now? 5-0. 5-0 in the second round of the playoffs. Amazing. And that Cavaliers yak job. Ouch. That one hurts. That was a rough one for them, but we'll get to them some other time. This is what you call a Pyrrhic victory, where the loss is greater than the victory itself or of equal value. I mean, losing Steph's a big story. That's the big one. How long is he going to be out? Nobody knows. They said mild strain. I've never injured my hamstring, so I don't know. I know a bunch of people that have injured their hamstring, and it could be a few days, could be a few weeks. I know hamstrings are tricky. You just when you think you're back, boom, you try to explode off of it, and you're not back. So hopefully he gets back, because it's no fun watching playoff basketball when the stars are out. It just isn't. I mean, congratulations to the Pacers for tonight's victory. Job well done, all that. But Donovan Mitchell went off, but it wasn't as much fun watching when they don't have Darius Garland. They don't have DeAndre Hunter. They don't have Evan Mobley. It's just not as much fun to watch the games when guys are hurt. And Steph's one of the biggest stars left in the playoffs. And obviously for Warrior fans, that would be brutal if he were to miss an extended period of time. But for basketball fans, it's brutal. I mean, who knows how many times he's going to be able to make a deep run the rest of his career, and you want to be able to enjoy it. He's one of the best to ever do it, and you want to watch him go out there and do his thing. So that was a bummer. That was a bummer that he left in the second quarter, wasn't able to come back, and obviously we'll just wait. Just wait and see. I have no idea. Don't ask. I have no inside information. Don't ask. I haven't had a hammy, so don't ask. Well, I do have them, but they've never been injured. So, but that would suck. But man, who didn't play tonight? Did Kevin Knox sneak in there when I wasn't looking? Literally everybody played tonight. Steve was just emptying out the bench. Kevin Knox didn't play. Trace didn't play. And I thought Key was getting up to play, and maybe I guess he didn't play. So, but Buddy was huge in the second half. I mean, just hitting timely shots and had a big third quarter. I thought one of the bigger shots of the game was when the Wolves made their first run in the third quarter, cut it down to 13, and Jimmy Butler hit that garbage prayer top of the key three and banked it in. Not only was it a prayer, he tried to draw the foul. He flailed and threw it up at the same time, which Jimmy is wont to do. And it was answered. Voila. And then, of course, the Wolves could not hit a three. Literally in the first half, did not have a three. They were awful tonight offensively. The only worry going into the next game was how easy they got to the rim after that. When they decided they want to go to the rim, they got to the rim over and over and over and over and over again. And the Warriors were just able to hang on, make enough plays. Pat Spencer had some big minutes for him. Looney had some big minutes for him. Gary Payton hit that one big three in the fourth quarter. That was huge. And, Draymond had the big first half with all the threes. It was just, it was, I'm not sure what it was, to be honest with you. I know it was a win. And I know it was grimy and it was defensive, and the Warriors don't mind that. This is not an offensive team. This is a defensive team. When they're good, they are a better defensive team than they are an offensive team. So that's just the way it's going to be. This one was so critical to get because, like I said, I go, there's a possibility for a blowout here. And look, it happened. It just happened on the other side. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect the rust part to be so rusty. How about some Rust-Oleum, Minnesota? I mean, wow. They were just awful offensively. Just careless and couldn't finish layups and, of course, couldn't hit jump shots. They couldn't do anything. The Warriors weren't a lot better in the first half offensively. But defensively, give them credit for, again, being physical. Give them credit for getting out on shooters. The Warriors have done that really well in the playoffs. I mean, they fly out to shooters. It's hard to get an open look against the Warriors. You got to make multiple extra passes to find that open guy, and that's what they're counting on. They're counting on at one point you to make a mistake. The more decisions you have to make as an offense, the better chance you're going to make a mistake. So and the Warriors count on that, and that's what multiple efforts are all about, forcing them to make multiple decisions. And the more decisions you make, you got to get them all right. And in the first half, the Wolves didn't. And then they didn't shoot. Bad combination. Because that was ugly. That was ugly. Somebody wants to know about the animals. Lou eating her chewy right here. Cats aren't coming in. I don't need the cats coming across here and messing up my keyboard. As I know they would do. I know they would do because that's what they do. That's what cats do. And I know they do it on purpose, both of them. They're like, let's go mess with him. Let's go mess with the keyboards. So it's just a weird game. Right? You just don't expect teams to shoot that poorly. But to win that, get back to my point, the reason it was so important to win it, not only are you coming off that series against Houston where, hey, look, we're going to play a lot of guys, take a swing at it, see what happens. Then all of a sudden you find yourself with a lead at halftime, 13 points, if I remember. Got it up to 20 at one point in the second half, and then they got it back down. What was the lowest they got it? I want to say 8, 9, maybe 9. And then they hit a couple big shots after that, or maybe it was 10, I'm not sure. But they didn't get it to within, like, hyperventilating distance, although Haley was hyperventilating. She's like, like, calm down. Haven't you noticed big leads are safe in the playoffs? Nobody's blowing big leads in the playoffs nowadays. If you have a big lead in the playoffs, it's over. You just go to bed, say the game's over. It's done. So it was important because you felt like you got a free swing at this one. Now you really get a free swing at the next one. But you need that win because you don't know how long Steph's going to play. Or you don't know how long Steph's going to be out. And it gives them an extra day to rest him and be extra careful. Now, I think if you're ready to go, you're ready to go, period. It's the playoffs. You got to try to get to 4. You don't want to kick a game away where a guy can play. You're like, nah, let's give him one more. This isn't the regular season. This is the playoffs. I'm a big, hey, get the next one. Everybody always says, what's the most important game in the playoffs? And I always answer, the next one. The next one. You only need to get to 4. So you can't afford to like, oh, we'll kick this one. We'll kick it. We'll let them get one. Now, every game's a chance for them to get a little bit of confidence, you to lose a little bit of confidence. So I fully expect them to play better. They'll come out and it'll be a much different game in game 2. But to get this one now, okay, now you can go out there and play free and easy next game. Because if you go up 2-0, and I can't imagine Steph plays next game, but who knows? Maybe. Again, I haven't had a hamstring injury. I don't know. Maybe it's really mild, and they just wanted to take him out of this game so he didn't do any more damage to it. So, don't know. You would think no, but who knows? I have no idea. Maybe I'll talk to Steve tomorrow at some point, and we'll all know by some point tomorrow. I'm sure I'll get an MRI and then diagnose it, how mild it is, how severe it is, and then go from there. So, I don't know. You think you know, but you never will. So they're 3 away now. Without Steph, that gets harder to get those 3, obviously. But you got the 1, and now you put a little pressure on them next game to get that one. I kind of figured they'd be able to bottle up Randall today. I didn't think Randall would have the impact he had against the Lakers just because of the Warriors bent for defense. That's not the same bent for defense the Lakers have. So the Warriors are a much better defensive team, more physical, and like I said, Julius Randle's not going to be able to bully ball his way through this lineup, and he didn't. You know, Naz Reid got to go in a little bit, hit a few threes. DiVincenzo didn't do a whole heck of a lot. I don't think Walker Alexander did anything. I mean, did he even score? I'm going to take a guess and say he didn't score, but maybe he threw in 2. Nope, 0. 0 for 3. Like zero impact offensively. Now, Anthony Edwards got it going. I think he had, 22 in the second half, 20 in the second half. So his ability to get to the rim, that's going to be a concern. And I'm pretty sure Steve's not going to be happy with how easy he got there, and especially getting to his right hand. If he goes straight right and gets to the rim, that's a problem. He gives you those in and out dribbles and stuff. Okay, well then, you know what? Great players sometimes can get to the rim, but he wasn't seeing any bodies whatsoever. Now, maybe at that point of the game, they decided, you know what? We don't want to give up threes, because that's the quickest way to have a team get back into a ball game is start canning multiple threes. I mean, they weren't canning anything, to be honest. They certainly weren't canning multiple threes. I don't know if they had a possession where they hit back-to-back threes. They had a couple here and there, but yeah, the Pat Spencer hook shot. He's wild, man. Every time I look at Spencer, I'm like, what? I don't know. I think it's that stash that just throws me. It's such a thick. You don't see that in the NBA very often. Like, I don't know if dudes had that in the 70s, but that is definitely a throwback era stash, because that thing is just wild. I'll tell you something about Pat Spencer, though. 28 years old. He's not afraid. He's not going in there playing timid. He's going to get after it. And if he has an opening, he's going to take it. He's just going to take it. Another thought. I think Draymond hitting those threes early were very helpful. Stan Van Gundy pointed this out, and I was thinking the same thing. It pulls Gobert out of the paint. And then some of your back cuts and some of your options at the rim open up a little bit more because Gobert's not there. And you got to play Draymond a little more honestly. Now, I would suspect they'll play him the same exact way to start game 2 and go, hey, prove it again. Can you do it again? Just based off one half, you're not going to – you shouldn't change your whole defense. Now, in game, you can do it because the numbers don't always play out in game. But it wasn't like Draymond was lighting him up the second half. Put a little more pressure on him. But, you know, if he misses his first 2, then he kind of stops taking them. Draymond's one of those guys, if he hits his first one, more are coming. And if he hits another one within the next 2, then more are coming. If he misses his first couple, usually he shuts it down pretty quick. Or he's not someone that looks to take a bunch of threes. But so what do you do without Steph? Let's assume that Steph's going to miss this. Now, let's just say he's going to miss next game for sake of argument. Then, you know, what does it look like? Obviously, a lot of Buddy and a lot of Jimmy Butler. It wasn't great offensively tonight, but he was really good on the offensive glass, especially in the first half. So, well, that would be, you know, look, it's going to be tough. Right? It's going to be tough. You build your whole offense around Steph. And if Steph's out, then it becomes tough to score. What they do have going for them is their defense still remains intact. And again, their defense is probably the best part of this whole operation is their defense. So you have the defense and you make it tough on the Timberwolves, and you try to do what you did tonight. Make it a low-scoring grinder where possessions matter and points matter, and you feel like if you build up a double-digit lead, that's significant in these type of games where no one's getting to 100. So it's not one of those where you get a 20-point lead and both teams are scoring 120, 130. Those are coming easy, right? We saw in the even though there wasn't a lot of points, much different game in the Celtics-Knicks last night. Celtics go up 20, and then bam, 3 threes, and it's 11. And then it's like, oh, dang. Celtics miss a few more threes. It's 5. And you're like, okay, we got a ball game. We got an absolute ball game. I thought the Warriors did a decent job tonight, not settling too much. They were 18 for 42. Great percentage, 42%, 43%. And 42, that's right within, where they usually are. 37 to 44, 43, somewhere around there. And Buddy was fantastic, of course. Wolves were only 5 for 29 from 3. Let's see what Buddy was. Buddy. 5 for 8. So what does that make him? 14 for 19? His last 2 games? Holy shite. That's getting it done right there. That's a tick over 70%. You'll take that. And they needed it. Because other than that, Butler 2 for 8. He seems to up his 3-point attempts when it gets the end of the season into the playoffs. Now I don't know. Maybe he thought it was a necessity. Tonight, Draymond's 4 for 10, all 4 in the first half. Steph was 3 for 6 before he left. Podziemski scuffled a little bit offensively at 1 for 7. Peyton was 2 for 3. Looney, of course, didn't shoot one. Jonathan Kuminga had the one from the corner. And Moody's scuffling right now offensively. The confidence isn't quite there. But you can bet the one guy I would say will probably. I'm surprised they didn't try to get the ball to McDaniels a little bit more when Podziemski was guarding him. Like, that's something that I would go after if I were them. I would try to go after that matchup. And not that Pods can't guard him. I mean, he's game. He's just not big enough. I mean, this dude's 6'10", 6'9", 6'10", probably 6'9", but his wingspan is over 7 feet, so he just shoot right over him. And I know he's not a huge offensive guy, but when you have that matchup, that's one that you gotta try to exploit at least a little bit. Offensive rebounds didn't give up a ton. In fact, they had more, 18 to 12. So that's always big. And the Warriors are a good offensive rebounding team. They're one of the best offensive rebounding teams. I think I'd have to look it up, but they're top 5 for most of the season. I always go by not total offensive rebounds, but offensive rebound percentage. And so let's see how many Looney had. Looney's always good for some offensive rebounds. And I tell you what, if I played against Looney, I love Looney, but let's see, rebounds for Looney, 6. Doesn't say how many offensive. I'll have to wait till I get the final box. Looney shoves you in the back every single offensive rebound. He just gets his hands in there and shoves you and pushes you and shoves you and pushes you. That would be so irritating. So irritating. Because that should be called every single time. I guess when you do it every single time, they're just like, we're not going to call it every single time. We can't. I'm tired of calling this. I'm not going to continue to call it. But Looney knows who he is, right? Diver, offensive rebounder, screen setter is what he is. But yeah, I mean, hell of a victory. Because you're only up 13 at half and you didn't have Steph. I thought right away it might start going this way, and it went that way immediately, like bang, bang. And that was critical to jump on him early in the second half and keep building up that lead. And then make him have to come back. And then a couple shots later, boom, you're back down 15, 16. And then maybe you get it down to 11. A couple shots later, 3 shot, boom, 17. So and they weren't good enough tonight offensively to overcome that. So hell of a victory. That was. It wasn't pretty. I mean, it was really ugly basketball. Even from, I mean, I love the win. Win was great, but god damn, that was some fucking ugly hoops right there. The last couple of games, both Warrior wins, I don't want to watch ever again. I don't need to watch either of those games again. There was there was very little that was pretty about that, but you rather win ugly than lose pretty. I tell you that right now. So Steve and the Warriors will take that, run with it. Night off in Minnesota. and then get back after it again on Thursday and be back here for Game 5. Well, I guess they're the only ones. I was going to say there'll be Game 3 on Saturday. I was going to say there'll be a Game 5 next week. Well, now who knows? I mean, I'm assuming Minnesota's going to win one, but there's only one team with a chance to sweep. That's it. Only one. one team. That's the Warriors. So, yes, Steve, I'm back on the sauce. Thank you. I appreciate it. We're going with a porter tonight. I don't know why I've been drinking porters. Probably because I drink porters before it gets too warm, because I don't like drinking porters all that much when it's warm. And that I've been sick. I don't know. The porter kind of feels better. I'm sick, and I just feel like this feels more like a medicinal beer. I got to be honest with you. This is some Sante Darius, Vanilla Joe, a little porter for you. So let's see. So there you go. That is tasty. And so, let's take some comments. Throw some comments up there. Boy, the Cavs really blew that one, huh? Yeah, I do got the Devo shirt. Doom, 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 doom. Bow, bow, boom, 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 boom. Crack that whip. And so, little 80s. I don't think I ever had. How many people out there actually had the red Devo helmet? Anybody? It's a great look for Halloween. You're looking for a late Halloween gift. All you got to do is get that Devo red hat. Boom, stick it on your Devo. Now, it does help if you have like this silver or black like unitard, or like I guess you can go Dickies. But if you're gonna go Dickies, then you just get the Michael Myers mask and you can be Michael Myers, because Devo didn't really wear the Dickies, a little tighter fitting. But yeah, or yellow. And so, but the red helmet does it. The red helmet, and you're good to get a red little helmet. You're good to go. Boom. You can be Devo if you want to be Devo. I doubt anybody wants to be Devo. They are still playing, by the way. I had no idea. All these 80s bands that I go, these 80s bands got to be retired, don't they? Nope. They're still around. You go on one of those. I didn't even know these existed. My wife went with a few of her friends on an 80s cruise with her friends. I'm like, and some of the bands she mentioned, I'm like, holy smokes. Are you kidding me? They're still banging around? They had like 2 songs. They've had 2 songs for 40 years. That's it. 2. It's amazing how much money you can make and how long you can play on 2 songs. Like, people will come watch you play. Now, it wasn't they were watching them play. There's a bunch of bands there. That were playing. And they got like an 80s heavy metal cruise that you can go on. Bob said more of an Oingo Boingo person. I love Oingo Boingo. Everybody knows that. I could be the only person in the world. My 2 favorite bands are Tool and Oingo Boingo. But yeah, I don't know. I went on one cruise. It's okay. What does everybody say when they go on a cruise? Oh, the food. The food? I live in San Francisco. I don't need to go on a cruise to get good food. Yeah, but you can eat all you want. Great, I can get stuffed on a boat. That sounds like a joy. Let me get uncomfortably stuffed and then be on the open seas. Wonder what's going to happen. So, it was okay. I mean, they had a casino there, so I'm like, but I can go to Vegas for that. It's like, you have a casino on a boat. Like, so, I don't know. Again, it was okay. Bigger surprise, winning game 1 without Steph or winning game 3 Rocket series without Jimmy? Oh, definitely game 1 without Steph. I mean, definitely. Because let's remember, game 3 against the Rockets was at home. Game 1 against the T-Wolves on the road. Steph's better than Jimmy. The whole offense is built around what Steph can do. And they just had come off a grueling 7-game series with the Rockets. So this one's, to me, not even close. More impressive. And that was, now the one thing I would say about the Rockets one is they needed that one. They needed that game. This one, they didn't need it. But after Steph got hurt, you kind of felt like, we need this one. Especially they were up 13 at half. You don't want to kick that one away. So they end up getting that one. But I mean, both impressive. Both impressive. I mean, I know it may shock some people out there because of what you read on Twitter occasionally. But Steve's actually he's a decent coach. Don't tell him I said that. Don't tell him I said he's a decent coach. I always tell him, I go, you're so fucking overrated. Are you kidding me? But Steve can coach. Steve knows what he's doing. And he gets his guys ready to play. And especially playoff time, they always have a really good game plan for how to stop what the other team's trying to do. Really try to get into key players that they think are going to be critical. Like I'm sure Ant Edwards probably took up most of the scout, but look, Ant Edwards is incredible. He got his tonight and he had a horrible game offensively. That man couldn't shoot. I think he hit one jump shot. I think he hit that 3 at the end of the game. It was 0 for 10 at one point, but got it going, as great players do. To me, I told you the keys to me are McDaniels, who I thought he was good. He wasn't given a lot of opportunities, but he was solid defensively. He's always good defensively. And Naz Reid. And I didn't think Randall. I don't think Randall is going to have a big impact on. He might, but I'd be shocked if he had as big an impact on this series as he did against the Lakers. I just would. That's just not how the Warriors. It's not how they're built at all. So, anyway, yeah. How about the Cavs game tonight? Oh gosh, brutal. I mean that Donovan Mitchell. He had such a great game too. What an incredible game by him. And then the offensive foul, and that started the whole thing. And then you can't rebound a missed free throw. Oh. I mean, that was rough. That was like, I know that's one that Indiana probably thinks they should have won anyway, with all those guys being out. But if you're the Cavs and you get that game from that monster game from Mitchell, Strus played his ass off. Allen was really good. Ty Jerome, who was one of the best 6 men of the year this year, boy, he has been scuffling offensively. What was he tonight? 1 for 14, something like that. I think it was 8 for 20. The first, like he has not been good. He has not looked comfortable offensively. So yeah, that was a tough one. Yeah, I don't know if Mitchell ran out of gas. I don't know if running out of gas causes you to elbow someone in the face, but I get it. You're trying to clear space. Neesmith is up on you, and that's a huge difference between when I played and now. When I played, you get hit in the beak. Sorry, back up, back your ass up, get out of my space. Now, you can't clear guys out. And I was always taught it as a kid. When you get a rebound, ball under your chin, elbows out, and pivot. Boom. You do that now and you clip somebody, you get a flagrant. Or you, excuse me, at least pick up a foul. So, and I disagree with that. I think if you want to put your beak in there, you might get it clipped occasionally. Oh, well, learn your lesson. All right? Learn your lesson. Was that one of Steve Kerr's best games coached? Top 3? I don't know. I'll have him rank them for me when he comes over one of these days. I'll rank his. He'll love that, talking about his best coached games. Here's the type of guy Steve is. He'd probably rather talk about his 3 worst coach games. Like, okay, what games did you really suck in? And he'll list them for you. Like, I hated I did this. I hated I did that. I screwed up here. I blew this. All those sort of things. That's one thing about Steve. He's pretty accountable. Do you feel better about these series now than before the game? Do I feel better about these series? These, as in all of them. I still think Boston's going to win. It seems like every series they have that game where they just jack up a whole bunch of threes because that's what they do. And it still cracks me up when people say, just drive. Well, that's not what they do. How do you know they're not going to hit the next 8? That's their mentality. Look, we shoot 38% from 3. This is what we do. We're going to keep shooting them because eventually we're going to start hitting 38% from 3. You just don't know when that's going to be. Obviously, that was not game 1. They were not 38, and they didn't get close to 38. They were god awful. But can you do that can you hope for that 4 times? Because if they shoot 38, 40% from 3, you lose. You just will. You'll lose. So I think they're good. I still like OKC in that game, but look, you want to bet against Joker? Like, I really don't. I don't. I don't. The guy's so good. He's so good at basketball, yet so unfazed by it. I love that guy. I love watching him play. He's just amazing basketball player. But that's one I thought OKC kind of choked away. They kind of gagged. Again, but give Nuggets credit. They had to make the plays. They had to make the free throws, and then Aaron Gordon hit that incredible 3, and Chet Holmgren missed 2 free throws. Boom. So I still think OKC wins. Cavs are in trouble. If they're healthy, completely healthy, I still think they can push this to 7 somehow. I do. That's how good they were in the regular season. Now, the Pacers are good. And if they're healthy, the Pacers can still beat them. But, again, it's a shame they're not healthy. You get the number 1 seed. You're the best team in the East all year long, wire to wire. I think they had 2 15-game winning streaks or something like that this year. I mean, they were awesome. But that's it, man. Sometimes it's the way it works out. And it would suck, but I do like watching Indy play anyway. I'm not going to shed any tears for the Cavs they lose, but I do like Kenny Atkinson a lot. Really good guy, really good coach, and good for him this year, coach of the year. I would just like to see, get a fair crack at this and be healthy. But, hey, that's not sports, right? That's not sports. It just, here's what you have. Deal with it. And they almost had a hell of a victory tonight, but not. This one becomes interesting now. I couldn't even pick this one because I don't know Steph's health, and I don't know Steph's health. That's it. That's the whole ball game. Like, slim and none probably are the Warriors' chances if Steph misses the rest of the series. If he misses 2 more games, well, you got one that maybe the Wolves think you shouldn't have, but hey, Wolves, blame yourselves. You're the ones who couldn't shoot straight. And let's say you lose the next 2 without Steph. Possible. Steph comes back, game 4, you win it. Okay, now you're 2-2. And you've already proven you can come here and win. So this one's a tricky one. I think if he comes back and like he's healthy, misses maybe 1 game, then I think they got a great chance of winning this. A great chance. Let me look real quick while I'm taking some taking your guys' comments and stuff. I'm going to see if they have updated the odds yet on the series. Sometimes after the games, they'll update the odds on the series. And I'm curious because the Warriors were actually plus like 175. Wolves got up to minus 200. I thought that was out of line. Oh, that was just an out of line. An out of line. And Warriors plus 175. No respect. So NBA series. See, you got the they only got the 2 for tomorrow. Celtics are still minus 360, massive favorite. Thunder minus 325, massive favorite. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, this one's about Steph's health. It really is what it is. It's just about Steph's health and when he comes back. And like I said, to start the show, I don't have any idea. So did Fish wait to the second half to tell the Wolves to attack the paint? I think it was easier to attack the paint in the second half. I think the Warriors were getting out on shooters a little bit quicker in the second half. They drove. It was just a lot more congested in there. And I think a lot of it was Rudy was out of the lineup. When Rudy's out of the lineup, they can play 5 out, and that really clears the paint. If Rudy's in the lineup, you're always going to have a guy in the paint. So you're going to drive, and there's going to be somebody there waiting for you. And in theory, you can draw him and pitch it up to Rudy, and then he dunk it or whatever. But when he's out of the lineup, it's much different to keep guys out of the paint. So I don't think he had to tell him. He may have. He may have said, guys, we got to be more aggressive. I don't know. I don't know how he handles timeouts and how he goes about it. And we are going to talk to Jim Peterson tomorrow. I told you guys today we're going to talk to the Wolves color analyst Jim Peterson today. That was my bad. I think I screwed the days up. Not positive. I'm kind of positive, but I kind of got confused because I told him Wednesday, but then he said 2:00, and I thought he meant 2:00 today, and he didn't. And one thing led to another. Plans got all they confused, and I got a little discombobulated, and it is what it is. And so, but we'll have him on tomorrow. We'll get his take on this ghastly game because again, it was a rough watch, and so. All right, what else we got? We got a bunch of people in here. I'll just sit in here. I got nothing going on, so we'll get to some comments. I see somebody on there asked if I was going to be a part of Steve's rotation coaching staff next year. Nope, not going to happen. Alfred and Robin. You mean the comedy duo of Buddy Hield and Jimmy Butler, Abbott and Costello? Jimmy Abbott and Buddy Costello, those two jokers. Yeah, I mean, they were the guys. Really, Buddy was the guy in the third quarter. He hit some big threes, and he hit those big ones early to get him up. I think got him up 20 at one point. And he just, he got it going. And they need it. And he's on one right now. Like I said, 14 for his last 19 from three. So you don't expect that to last. But while it does, you try to ride that as much as you can. Try to get him as many looks as you possibly can. Because when he's going, he's a top tier shooter. Problem is, here's the problem with Buddy. Is if Buddy's not shooting well, Buddy doesn't bring a lot to the table. He doesn't rebound. He doesn't play make. He's not a great defender. His defense has been better this year, I think, but still, I mean, he's not. Yeah, I would put him below the Mendoza line when it comes to defense. So when he's shooting, though, now the one thing I will add, lay backtrack, because even if he's not shooting, he can space the floor. He can give other guys a little bit of room to create because you're always going to respect Buddy Hield. No one's ever going to leave Buddy Hield open on purpose. You may make a mistake and do it. He may beat you on a move, but you're not leaving Buddy Hield open. So when you talk about great shooters, Steph and Clay and all those guys, that's what they do. They provide floor spacing for everybody else to work a little bit. What's the rotation without Curry? Well, didn't Gary start in the second half, I think? So you may get some of that. You may get some Gary. I mean, look, I think anything's on the table. So you got Buddy, you got Podziemski, Draymond, and Jimmy. So you have wow. Jimmy's basically your 4. Draymond's your 5. Buddy's your 3. Podziemski's kind of your 2, and I guess I'd go Gary. Because then if you get Gary in there, you got someone to guard Anthony Edwards, or at least try to. So probably that. I think, Moody was starting when his confidence was higher. It's not there quite yet. Not quite there. It's not there now. So I don't think he'll start. Not Kuminga. Looney. I don't think Looney's starting. I mean, I guess if you wanted to, you could start Looney at 5, but I don't see that. I don't know. I'll go with that. Since he started Gary Payton in the second half and they ended up winning, then I'll just go with that. If Steve rarely changes lineups if they win. If they win, he just usually kind of sticks with it. It's like a baseball manager, like Bochy, right? Get a homer, play the next day. If you're hitting, you play. If you're winning, you play. So I would suspect that's going to be it. Was Jimmy tired or still feeling the pain for the injury? He was limping around pretty bad after the game. I don't know. It could have been just tired, just exhausted. I don't know. That's all they need is another injury. Butler seems like a robo ball player, though. Like, he's just going to play. It doesn't matter what it is. He just gets up. Okay, I'm ready. Just wind him up, let him go. Yeah, we're good. We're good. I'm good. Don't worry about it. I play. That's what I do. That one probably felt pretty good to him tonight too. Timmy announced the crack of the can in the game. Nice. These are the type of games I was used to. This is where, for those of you who don't know, when I'm doing the radio and the Warriors, I feel like the Warriors have the win secured. I will crack the can of beer. That's like the Red Auerbach cigar. Can of beer is cracked. Game's over. You can go ahead and celebrate. We're done. That was back when the Warriors were winning by 20 and 30 and starters weren't playing the fourth quarter. And I was able to crack the can late third, early fourth. It just, you knew the game was over. There's so many times this year that I haven't cracked a can even when the Warriors won because I was like, I don't even know if they're going to win this game. And then by the time they won, I'm like, oh, crap, I forgot to do the can thing. So what are you going to do? Have I tried NyQuil with? No, I'm not trying NyQuil with a beer chaser. I don't know. Does anybody have any Scissorp? Can you get that over the counter? Jamarcus Russell selling? I don't know. Who would have guessed Santa Cruz Warriors starters would be playing meaningful minutes? What's up?
Can I have, what is the yogurt thing?
What do you want?
The yogurt thing.
One of the yogurt things?
I'm going to get it.
Okay, can I finish doing the show?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. You want to tell everybody hi? I've just been asked for a yogurt thing. I have no idea what the yogurt thing is. There, thank you. Guest appearance from Camila. She just rolled in. I thought I locked the door, by the way. I didn't. She just rolled in, said hi. Yeah. Hey, Grandpa, can I get one of those yogurt things? One of those yogurt things. I don't know what the yogurt things are, but I don't think I know we have a beer break, like a graphic that we can throw up there. And I don't think we have a yogurt break graphic. I'm not positive, but we might. Yeah, this is usually like, for whatever reason, this is like her eating, like at 10 o'clock, 9:30. She's like, I'm hungry. Why didn't you eat dinner? I wasn't hungry then. Kids. And that's, kind of our society nowadays is like, okay, you're not hungry. Okay, that's fine. And then 9:30, I'm hungry. Okay, let me get you something to eat. Anybody that's my age, maybe even a little bit younger, that didn't fly back then. That did not fly. You ate dinner? Or you didn't eat dinner? You're not getting food later. Sorry. That's not the way it works. Or I'm sure a lot of you had parents like my parents. You sat at the table until you ate. Period. You're going to finish your food. There's kids in Africa that are starving. And I used to ask my mom, like, well, I can't give the kids in Africa this pork chop. I'm full. I don't want the pork chop anymore. Like, I can't. How am I going to get it? How's a little kid in Ethiopia or whatever, where I don't care, Ivory Coast? I gotta get them I can't get them the pork chop. Doesn't matter. They're starving. You're gonna eat. So, yes. Hold on. Come here. Tell everybody your name.
My name's Camila.
Yep. So what are you doing? Are you hungry?
No, I just need lady some. I need my Lambie.
You need your Lambie?
She said my dad's back downstairs. I don't know where my daddy's talking about. She said on the I went downstairs. On the front of me, there's a chair, and it's on it.
Yeah.
I don't know which chair.
You don't know which chair?
No.
I don't know which chair either. Well, go tell your daddy to come look for it.
Oh yeah, the other chair one.
Yeah, go look in the other chair so you can find your Lambie.
Yeah.
Okay? That's right. We got to have Lambie before we go to bed. You want to talk about a catastrophe in this household? You try to put her to bed without Lambie? and she wants Lambie, and then you can't find Lambie. Oh no. No. And that is like, I mean, you want to talk about that? That's alarm bells going off. That's like the whoop. There's a fire in here. We got the whoop, 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 whoop. Got the Lambie alert. And then everybody is down here looking for Lambie. It's a full-on like search. You know those you watch those movies and everybody's walking side by side, hand in hand, looking for a body or something, and they're just like looking for, and that's what we do with Lambie. We're just like kind of rolling around looking for Lambie. So yeah, what's going now? What?
I couldn't find her.
You couldn't find her? Okay, do me a favor, throw up the beer graphic real quick. I'm gonna find Lambie, and then I'm gonna show you guys what Lambie looks like. Ogden, throw up the beer graphic real quick, and I'm gonna find this Lambie so we can get a catastrophe can be avoided. All right, let's go find Lambie. Come on.
2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Well, watch that.
Why do you want to show Lambie? Why do you want to show you?
I had to pause my show.
Huh?
I had to pause my show to come help you with Lambie.
Why?
So I'm going to show everybody.
That's so funny.
Is that funny? All right, go ahead. Okay, so we found Lambie. Lambie is good to go. You happy? Yeah. All right. Here's your Lambie. Give me a kiss. I love you. Okay. Can you shut the door when you leave?
I'm just gonna look where you're doing.
Okay. Love.
I'm gonna come right back to my daddy.
Okay, go back to your daddy.
No, I'm gonna come right back to my daddy.
Okay, you sit here while I'm doing the show, okay? Okay. But you gotta shh. All right, let's get to some more comments. It's Dumpy. Oh, you got a Dumbo the elephant. Yeah, I don't know that I had anything when I was little. Oh, the blue monkey. Yeah, the blue monkey. I know I used to love Clifford the big red dog when I was younger. That was like my favorite. But I didn't have a lot of like stuffed animals and, well, let's be honest, this is like 50 years ago, maybe more than 50 years, maybe more than 50 years ago. So we didn't have as much stuff as she has. Let's see, what else do we kids in the, what do you mean gotta behave? She is behaving. Look at her. I mean, you can't be better than that. Huh. That's it. She said, I just want to check out the show. She goes, I heard the show's popping. I heard people like word of mouth spreading. Word around town is like, hey, it's a show to watch. So I want to make sure I get in on some of this. And maybe she can start her career right here. She can have her own sports talk career. Highly doubtful, but you never know. And then I could say it starts here. She did enjoy the Homer Simpson graphic, by the way. She thought that was really funny. She enjoyed Homer. And so you better get up and go to bed now. It's bedtime. You got school tomorrow, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Uh-huh. See, there you go. Oh yeah, of course Camila stole the show. You kidding me? I stand no chance, zero chance. If no, somebody asked if she wants to be a Girl Scout. What would I do? Hopefully I've moved to Nova Scotia by that point, and I won't have to do it. I won't have to deal with it, because you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy metric butt ton of cookies. What I'm going to do if she becomes a Girl Scout. I'll try to steer her away from that if I possibly can. I don't like my family members being parts of terrorist organizations. Yeah. Okay, I got to do the show. Unfazed.
When did you do that?
When did I do this? Oh, yeah. She asked when I broke Franny's bat. Franny's bat is broken. Uh-oh. Daddy's coming down now. Oh. She heard Westing, top of the stairs. Camila. What? Okay. I'm coming. See, that's what it was. She came down here and she's like, I'm just going to stay down here as long as possible until my dad calls me. And then I'll get up there, because it is late. I mean, let's be honest. Oh, and another thing I got to throw out there. They were talking about sitting at the dinner table and eating your food and all that. Again, I don't know how many of you are my age. I don't know how many of you are a little younger than me. I don't know how many of you are 20 or 30 years younger than me. But what happened to bedtime? Bedtime for me was 9, period. And I thought I was pretty lucky. Like, some kids were 8:30. I got to stay up till 9 until I was a junior in high school. 9. I got to stay up till 10 when I was a senior. 10. Now, did I stay up till 10? Not all the time. I had 6:30 practice in the morning that my mom drove me to. My mom drove me to. I got on a bike and rode to school for practice. They can drive kids everywhere. It's like a travesty. Like, you almost feel like you're going to get locked up by Child Protective Services if you actually make your child take the bike to school. Kid, bike to school. I'm calling CPS. What are you talking about? Get your ass on that bike and ride to school. It's a mile. Okay? But, oh, damn, 7 o'clock? That's rough. No, come on. Not when they're in high school. You go to bed at 7. But I did have 6:30 practices in the basketball season. And that was rough. You know me, I'm not a big morning guy, and I had to get up at 5:50, out the door at 6, 20 minutes to get to practice, and that was good to go. And then we shared the gym with the wrestling team. You know, those Neanderthals that were, just sweating and wearing plastic bags over their bodies and turning the heat up to 103, and it was an oven in there. You wanted to pass out when you walked in. It was cold in the morning. Walk into it was brutal. So our coach showed their coach, hey, what are you doing here? What are we doing? Get the heat up. It's like this Sahara Desert in here. He's like, well, we only turned it on upstairs, because there's a 2-level gym. And that was one of the dumbest things I'd ever heard. I just turned the heat on upstairs. But you think the heat was going to stay on the top level of the gym because you just turned it on the top level of the gym? Yeah, look, we got turned on up here. We're not going downstairs. Like, all the heat molecules. No, back it up. Back it up, Slick. We're only supposed to be up here. That kind of went everywhere and kind of ruined practice. So yeah, I was not a big fan of wrestlers. So again, it's totally different. Totally, you get your own way to school. Get your own way to school. Get your own way. There were no lines to drop kids off. Walk to school. I walked to school when I was like 6. No, I didn't walk uphill in the snow both ways. I walked to school. And it was maybe, well, it wasn't half a mile, but it was a little farther than a quarter of a mile. Go to the end of my block, take a left, go down about 200 yards, take a right. And it was probably a couple hundred yards from there. So it was probably, between a quarter mile and a half a mile. But who lets their kids walk when they're 6 nowadays? They barely let them walk when they're 16. Well, they're probably driving by that point. But and maybe not 6. I was in first grade. I might have been, though. I might have been. Second grade, I was definitely walking to school. Definitely walking to school. You get picked up, don't worry about it. We'll deal with that then. We'll deal with that when that happens. And I was like, all right, cool. Didn't take me that long, though. 20 minutes or so, walk home. My buddy who pops on the chat all the time, Steve, he lived about, I don't know, an opening of a fence at the end of his street away from school. It was his house here, couple more houses, end of the cul-de-sac, fence, school, right there. You literally can't get any closer than that. And then the junior high, Haskell, was right across the street. So his parents were set. Hey, you look, when you can see the school from your front and backyard, you're good. But I couldn't, but I walked anyway. So, all right, we got any more comments we want to get to? Camila hijacked my show. But anytime Camila wants to hijack the show, she's good. And so, did Dagno mess up by fouling with 3 seconds left? You mean 13 seconds left? Yes, I think he did. My opinion, I think he did. I think not only did they mess up by fouling Joker with 13 seconds left up 3, because they had a defender right on him. Caruso was right on him. Could have stayed in front of him, made it a really tough shot. And if he makes that one, you still got I don't know, 10 seconds? He's probably not going to shoot it. He's going to try to find someone with a better shot. Then he hits 2. They take the ball out of bounds. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander scores in the dunk. Nice curl play, cleared out the whole bottom of the court, dunk. And then they inbound it to Aaron Gordon, and they foul right away. Caruso fouls him right away. That one, I have no idea why you would foul right away. 85 feet away from the bucket. No idea. You could burn off at least another 4 seconds. Just turn him once. Get him to dribble left or right and then jump in front of him and turn him, and you're good. And if he passes it, then you can foul if you want to on the next pass. But, man, they were scared to death. And the only way I would foul with that much time left is if I had Steph and Clay. I had 2 great free throw shooters on my team. Then I'm good. I'll trade 2 for 2 all day with you because you're going to miss before I miss for the most part. But the Thunder, to the best of my knowledge, don't have a bunch of dead-eye shooters from the free throw line. Now, I don't think they're terrible. Holmgren was 75%. He missed 2. But let's see if I can pop it up here. Let's see what the Thunder are free throw percentage wise. So you got Shai 89%. Perfect. You're good there, right? You want to make sure Shai gets the ball. He didn't on the out of bounds play. Then you got Jay Will 79, Holmgren 75, Wiggins 83, Hartenstein 68. He wasn't in. Joe, I don't think was in, 83%. Dort 71%, Wallace 81%, Caruso 82%. So they do have a bunch of good free throw shooters, but still, I want a couple. I want another guy like Shai that I just know I'm going to get 2 points out of this, and I'll trade you guys. I'll keep trading off, but all you need is one screw up, and that's what happened. Why did Sacramento trade Tyrese? Nah, I disagree with you. I don't think it was a terrible decision. Him and De'Aaron Fox weren't coexisting together. Both needed the ball. And I think Domantas Sabonis is a really good player. And I think when they had Fox, I think it fit perfectly. Pick and roll, Fox, Sabonis, get Sabonis the ball in the pocket, great passer, great vision. And now they ran a lot of their stuff even before Fox left, but still run a lot of their stuff with Sabonis at the high post. A lot of dribble handoffs with him. So I didn't mind that. I thought it was really good for both teams. I really did. And then Sacramento, well, kind of like Sacramento screwed it up. It just seems like somehow they just screw it up. I mean, remember like 2 or 3 years ago when they were like a team on the rise? Yeah, neither do I. I don't remember that either. I thought we might have Kings and Warriors playoff games for 2-3 years to come. Nope. Just 1 year and then one playing game, and that's it. And then thanks for coming. De'Aaron Fox is gone. And I don't know. That just it sucks too, because they had a great fan base in Sacramento, and Golden 1 is a really good building. I like that building. I love the open air at the one end. Really good, really nice. When they support that team, win or lose, but boy, when they're winning, that town's rolling. I think the beam thing's a little hokey, but whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what direction they're going. I don't know. Maybe if Vivek would stop trying to be Joe Lacob and stop trying to make the Kings the Warriors and just do your own thing, maybe that might work out better. Possibly. So anyway, Golden 1 space. Yeah, Golden 1's cool. I like Golden 1. Golden 1's really cool. Really cool joint. So much for Warriors and Kings, though. Meeting for years to come. Oof. Oh, the Kings got it going on. Didn't they? They did. And no, they don't. Looney played well tonight. Looney had some good minutes tonight. Look, everybody that played had good minutes tonight. They grinded that one, man. That was an absolute grinder of a game. How many games they scored over 100 so far in the playoffs? 8 games, maybe like 3 games they scored over 100. They're like one of the slowest teams now, and just like they're not great offensively, and they've turned into a defensive team, and that's fine. Doesn't matter. Just figure out a way to play. Just figure out a way to win. What helps you win? And so, anywho, what else do we have? I'm just kind of reading them off the right here. See if there's anything that catches my eye. Oh, nice win by the Giants tonight too. That was almost a yak job. I could have been wrong on that. I'm not sure Walker is their closer. I'm not sure if they have a closer yet. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do, because maybe he's not that guy. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't watched enough this year to know what Duvall's doing, what he's looking like. But yeah, I mean, really, walk PCA to start the 9th? And come on, you can't do that. You can't do that. I don't need that. I don't need to watch that. But I know Ryan Presley had a rough a rough stat line. Came in the 11th for the Cubs. 0 innings pitched, 8 earned. Man, what's his ERA now? I always look. It's kind of too late in the season to look at ERAs that are like in the 80s and 90s, but that's always funny to me. My favorite was the Infinity ERA, the Infinity Stones ERA. Let's see what Ryan Presley's updated ERA is right now. That's got to hurt. Relievers don't get many innings either. So he gets 0 innings and just 8 earned tacked on. What was for dinner? Burrito from Guadalajara tonight. Famoso burrito, by the way. A little enchilada style. Let's see. Presley. Oh, he must have been pitching really well, because the ERA is only 7.62. Whip's a little high. 1.92 whip. That's a little up there, I would think. And here's something that I just noticed, because I was watching some baseball this past weekend and watching the Yankees game. We're 35 games into the season now? How many games the Yankees played? 36 games the Yankees have played. Aaron Judge is fucking batting 412. 412. Not just 400, 412, just for good measure. The OPS is like 1,300, 1,400. I mean, wow. That dude, he's something. He is something. I guess that's why he got named captain of the USA team. So 4, will he keep it up? No. But it's a lot better than his start last year. Remember his start last year? He was brutal last year, the first month and a half, and then just, became Aaron Judge. So why the every other day games now with 2-3 days in between during the first round? Dude, don't ask me to explain the schedule making in the NBA. I have no idea. Because after they're every other day for the first 4 games. First 5 games. I think it goes Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Monday, Wednesday. And then between 5 and 6, there's 3 days off. So it goes Wednesday, game 5. And then if there is a game 6, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, play Sunday. So, look, the more days off that you can give Steph, the better. Maybe he won't even need it. Maybe he'll be back by then. But yeah, it'd be nice if they had one of those 2 or 3 days off now. That'd be perfect. But they don't. And don't ask me. It's all the TV. I don't know how the TV does it. I don't know how TNT does it. I don't know how ESPN does it. I don't know. I don't. So there you go. That's what it is. Do I like 2-3? No, I don't like 2-3-2. I like 2-2-1-1-1. That's old school. That's the way it used to be, and I'm glad they went back to it. I just don't like it. You work all year for home court, and you lose one of the first 2 at home, and you might not ever get back home again. I mean, there is that possibility. I like 2-2-1-1-1. I mean, the travel, there's more travel, and that only used to be during the finals. And I think that started in 85, maybe 85, 86, somewhere around there. But yes, 2-2-1-1-1 is what I prefer. And so anyway, all right, we're gonna get out of here. We'll be back tomorrow. We're gonna talk to Jim Peterson tomorrow. Break down the game a little bit, and then Thursday, I'm not sure if we'll have a show before the game, but we'll definitely have a game show post game, and then Friday we'll figure it out. We'll see what we got going on. We might have something Friday. We may wait till the following Friday and have something. And let's see, what did I say? Yeah, because then we'll have. I said we'd have Thursday, Friday, Saturday off. So we may have someone come out in the backyard next Friday, basketball related, talk some hoops, and somebody that I worked with, I've worked with in the past, so might be kind of fun too. And so, but we will keep it rolling. Yes, thank you, Camila. Thank you to Camila for jumping into the show. So we didn't get all the animals. We only got 2 animals today. We got Lou and Camila is what we got. So she's my sweetheart. She's a little sweetie, and she had dance class today. So she went dance class, came home, and then came home and wanted to come in here and hang out and enjoy a little bit of the Tom Tolbert show. So I'm going to make sure she subscribes, by the way. And if you want to subscribe or you can do that as well. I'm going to teach her how to do that. I'll be the first show she subscribes to. Might be a little blue though for a 5-year-old. I'm not sure. You know what? I don't know if I'm going to go that route, to be honest with you. I don't know if I'm going to go that route. And so there's Walker, my other son. Weston's up there sleeping. Walker and his lovely wife, Elisa, and their little guy, Kai. I'll get Kai in here one of these days so you can check out Kai. That dude's a stud. So they're over in Hawaii hanging out, I guess, drinking a pineapple beer. Hopefully not Kai. Hopefully Kai's not having a pineapple beer. Oh, they'd probably give it a shot. He probably Kai's in the open mouth kisses stage. You want to give Kai a kiss? He just goes. Kai's the man, though. Kai is absolutely the man. His first trip to Hawaii, and he's not even a year. How great is that? It's great life. All right. We'll talk to you guys later. See you tomorrow. Have a great evening. Enjoy yourselves and celebrate. Celebrate this ugly, beautiful mess of a Warriors win as they go on to take game 1 in the Western Conference semis against the Minnesota Timberwolves, 99-88. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Out.